My brother called me a failure in front of his lead investor. That investor Googled me, and my brother's entire company collapsed in 30 days. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Dad's retirement party, fancy hotel ballroom, crystal chandeliers, white tablecloths, 150 people celebrating 40 years at the company. I stood near the back, holding sparkling water, watching. That's where I always was. The back, quiet, unremarkable. My brother Tyler was at the center, always at the center. VP of his own tech startup. Series B funding. The success story everyone wanted to hear. My sister Madison was there too. Marketing director, corner office, another gold star on the family resume. And then there was me, Alex, the one they didn't talk about much. I'd taken what they called the wrong path. Dropped out of college junior year. Worked odd jobs. Traveled. Figured things out slowly while everyone else raced ahead. Eventually found my thing. Freelance consulting. Supply chain optimization. Remote work. Comfortable income. But to my family, I was the cautionary tale. No corporate job, no impressive title, no business cards with fancy logos. Just different. Which to them meant less. Tyler had made it clear over the years. Still doing the freelance thing? With that tone, that pitying smile. Madison would introduce me to people as my sibling who's finding themselves. At 32. Mom would deflect questions. Oh, Alex is doing their own thing. Very independent. Translation: we don't like talking about it. Dad barely acknowledged my work at all. Just changed the subject whenever it came up. So I stopped bringing it up. Stopped trying to explain. Just showed up to family events. Smiled. Stayed quiet. Tyler arrived an hour into the party. Not alone. Never alone. He brought his entourage. Co-founders. Business partners. And investors. One investor in particular caught my attention. Marcus. Mid-50s. Tailored suit. Expensive watch. But not flashy about it. Quiet. Observant. Tyler introduced him around like a prize. This is Marcus, lead investor in our Series B, $8 million. People were impressed, shook his hand, asked questions about the startup world. Marcus nodded politely. Listened more than he talked. Watched people carefully. I noticed because I do the same thing. Observers recognize observers. An hour later, Tyler spotted me. Big smile. The kind that meant trouble. He walked over, Marcus beside him. Hey, come meet someone. I stood up from my chair in the back corner. Tyler put his arm around my shoulder. Squeezed. Too tight. Marcus, this is my sibling. Alex. Marcus extended his hand. Nice to meet you. You too. Professional, neutral, just a handshake. Then Tyler's smile got wider. Meaner. Alex here is special. Living proof that success skips generations. I felt it like a punch. But I didn't react. Years of practice. Marcus's expression didn't change. Just watched. Mom walked over. Must have heard Tyler's comment. She laughed. Loud, performative. Oh God, don't get him started. Dad joined us. Champagne in hand. Retirement glow fading into something else. It's true. He gestured at me with his glass. 3 successful kids and... Well? Madison appeared. The family cautionary tale. They all laughed. Tyler, Mom, Dad, Madison. Even some nearby guests chuckled. Uncomfortable but going along. I stood there. Silent. Used to this. Marcus didn't laugh. He watched them. Expression neutral. But something shifted in his eyes. Tyler wasn't done. He turned to Marcus. Full performance mode now. Seriously, I'm VP of a $50 million startup. Madison's got her corner office downtown. And Alex? He gestured at me. Freelance consulting. Air quotes. Mom added quickly, we don't talk about it much. Dad raised his glass. Can't win 'em all. More laughter. I watched Marcus watch them. His face stayed neutral, but his jaw tightened slightly. Tyler kept going, feeding off the audience. I mean, we tried. Good schools, same opportunities, but some people just, he shrugged, take longer to figure things out. If they ever do, Madison added. That got the biggest laugh. I felt heat in my chest, anger, shame, old familiar feelings. But I didn't say anything. What would I say? That I made six figures? That I worked with major companies? That I'd been featured in industry publications? They wouldn't believe me. Or they'd minimize it. Oh, that's nice. Then change the subject. So I stayed quiet. Marcus pulled out his phone. Tyler didn't notice. Still performing. Marcus scrolled, tapped something. Read. His expression changed. Subtle. But I saw it. Tyler was still talking. Honestly, we joke that Alex is our reminder to stay humble. Like that could have been us if we'd made different choices. Marcus put his phone away, looked at Tyler directly. Can I ask you something? Sure, Tyler grinned. How much of your Series B funding have you spent? Tyler blinked, confused by the shift. About 30%. Why? Marcus's voice stayed calm. Even, professional. Because I'm reconsidering my investment. The group went quiet. Tyler laughed nervously. What? Why? Marcus looked around. At Mom, Dad, Madison, all frozen. Tyler's smile was fading. Marcus, come on. We were just what? Having fun, family stuff? You know how it is. Marcus looked at me, then back at Tyler. I'm withdrawing my funding. Tyler's face went white. You can't. I can. Review your contract. 30-day character clause. Character clause? If I determine you're not someone I want to be in business with, I can exit. With 30 days notice? But why? Marcus gestured at the space between us, at the laughter that had just died. Because of this. Tyler stared, not comprehending. Marcus's voice stayed calm, but there was steel underneath. You publicly humiliated your sibling. To impress me. That tells me everything I need to know about your character. We were joking. You weren't joking. Mom stepped forward. We were just having fun. Marcus ignored her, kept his eyes on Tyler. I've spent 6 months evaluating your company, your team, your leadership. You passed every test, until tonight. This is insane. You used family as a punchline to elevate yourself in front of an investor. That's not insane. That's calculation, and it's cruel. Dad tried to intervene. Look, you don't understand our family. Marcus turned to him. I understand perfectly. You're celebrating 40 years of success, and you chose to spend part of it mocking your own child in front of strangers. Dad's face went red. Marcus looked back at Tyler. My decision is final. You'll receive formal notice tomorrow, effective 30 days from receipt. Tyler's voice cracked. Please, my entire company depends on that funding. Then you should have thought about that before you decided character didn't matter. Marcus nodded at me. Brief. Respectful. Then walked toward the exit. Tyler stood frozen, watching $8 million walk away. Mom looked at me. Dad looked at me. Madison looked at me. Like this was somehow my fault. I set down my sparkling water and walked out the opposite direction. Behind me, I heard Tyler start to panic. Wait, Marcus, please. But I didn't turn around. I'd spent 32 years being the punchline. Tonight, someone else finally heard the joke and didn't laugh. I made it to my car before my phone started buzzing. Tyler. Declined. Buzzed again. Declined. Kept driving. 45 minutes back to my apartment. Phone buzzing the entire way. By the time I pulled into my parking spot, 14 missed calls. All Tyler. I sat in the car. Engine off. Staring at my phone. Part of me wanted to answer. The old part. The part that still hoped they'd see me differently someday. But a bigger part remembered the laughter. Mom's loud, performative laugh. Dad pointing at me with his champagne glass. Madison calling me the family cautionary tale. I went inside, made tea, sat on my couch in the dark. Phone kept buzzing. Tyler, Mom, Dad, Madison, Tyler again. Around midnight, I finally answered. What? Tyler's voice came fast, panicked. I'm fucked. I'm completely fucked. Okay. Okay? That's all you have to say? What do you want me to say? Marcus just sent the formal withdrawal notice. $8 million. Gone. I can't make payroll next month. My co-founders are freaking out. Our other investors are asking questions. I stayed quiet. Alex, are you listening? I'm listening. I need your help. I almost laughed. My help? You know people, right? You do consulting. You must have connections. I do. Then help me. Make some calls. Introduce me to investors. Something. Why would I? Silence on his end. Like the question didn't make sense. Because I'm your brother. My brother. Right. The one who called me a failure 2 hours ago. I didn't mean, you meant it. You've meant it for years. Tonight you just said it out loud. I was trying to impress Marcus by humiliating me. Yeah, I noticed. His voice shifted. Desperate now. Please. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said those things. But my entire company is on the line. People's jobs, their families. Should have thought about that before using family as a punchline. I hung up. Phone immediately started buzzing again. I turned it off. The next morning, Mom called from the landline. I'd forgotten they still had one. But she found a way. Alex, we need to have a family meeting. No. Your brother's company is collapsing because of his choices. You could help him. I could. I won't. Why not? Because last night you laughed when he called me a failure, loudly, in front of 150 people. We didn't mean, you laughed, Mom. I heard you. Everyone heard you. Her voice got smaller. It was just family teasing. No. Teasing is private. That was public humiliation. There's a difference. But your brother needs, I don't care what Tyler needs. I hung up, blocked her number, then Dad's, then Madison's. Left Tyler's unblocked. Wanted to see how desperate he'd get. Around noon, an email arrived. Not from family. From a former client. Subject. Last night. I opened it. Alex, I was at your father's retirement party last night. I'm a colleague of your dad's from the engineering department. I didn't realize you were his son until the incident with your brother and that investor. I wanted to reach out because I've worked with you professionally through the Walmart distribution project. Your work saved our company $40 million annually. You're one of the best consultants I've ever seen. What your brother said was cruel and inaccurate. I'm sorry you had to experience that. Especially from family. Best, Robert Chen Sr. VP, Operations. I stared at the email. Someone had seen it. Not just Marcus. A client. Someone who knew my actual work. And they'd seen my family mock me for it. I didn't know whether to feel validated or humiliated. Both, probably. That afternoon, Tyler forwarded me something. Marcus's formal withdrawal notice. I almost deleted it. But curiosity won. Opened it. Professional. Legal. Detailed. Standard contract termination language. 30-day notice period. Return of equity. Clawback provisions. And then, at the bottom, one paragraph that wasn't standard. Per Section 7.3, Character and Conduct Clause, investor reserves the right to withdraw funding if founder demonstrates conduct inconsistent with investor's values. After observing founder's treatment of a family member at a public event on date, investor has determined a fundamental incompatibility of character and professional ethics. This determination is final and non-negotiable. Tyler had added a message above it. Do you see this? He put it in writing. Everyone who reads this will know why. I closed the email. Good evening. Someone knocked on my apartment door. I checked the peephole. Tyler. He knocked again. Alex, I know you're home. Your car's here. I stayed quiet. Please, just talk to me for 5 minutes. I didn't move. He knocked again. Then gave up. Sort of. Instead of leaving, he sat down in the hallway. back against the wall across from my door. I watched through the peephole. He pulled out his phone, stared at it, ran his hands through his hair, looked exhausted, sat there for an hour. I made dinner, ate, washed dishes, checked the peephole again. Still there. Finally, he stood up, left. I heard his footsteps fade down the hallway. Felt nothing. No guilt. No sympathy. Just tired. 2 days later, another email. This time from someone I didn't know. Subject: Marcus Chen reference. Wait. Chen? Opened it. Mr. Alex. Last name? My name is Sarah Martinez. I'm a reporter with Forbes covering venture capital and startup funding. I'm working on a story about Marcus Chen's recent investment withdrawal from Tyler's company. During my research, I noticed you were mentioned in our 2022 profile on supply chain innovation. The Quiet Revolutionaries, 10 consultants reshaping American logistics. You were featured for your work with Walmart, Target, Amazon, and General Motors, collectively saving those companies approximately $140 million through distribution optimization. I'm trying to understand the connection between you and the recent funding withdrawal. Multiple sources have indicated there was a family incident at a retirement party. Would you be willing to speak on record about what happened? Best regards, Sarah Martinez, Forbes staff writer. I read it 3 times. Forbes was writing about this. About Tyler's funding collapse. About the retirement party. About me. I replied simply, "No comment. Please don't contact me again about this matter." Sent. But the damage was done. Tyler's professional humiliation was about to go public, and everyone would know why. That evening, Tyler called from a different number. I answered without thinking. "Did you talk to Forbes?" "No, but they contacted you." And I said no comment. "They're writing a story about the funding withdrawal, about what I said at Dad's party." "Okay, okay? This will destroy my reputation." "You destroyed your reputation when you called me a failure to impress an investor. But if Forbes publishes this, then people will know what kind of person you are." Problem? He was breathing hard. "You want this. You want me to fail." "No, I wanted you to treat me with basic respect. You chose not to. This is just consequence. We're family." "You keep saying that, like it means something." "It should mean something. It should, but it doesn't. Not anymore." I hung up, blocked the new number. Late that night, another email. From Marcus. Subject: Apology. My hand hesitated over the mouse. Opened it. "Alex, I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing to apologize for putting you in an awkward position at your father's retirement party. When I Google someone, it's usually to verify credentials for business purposes. What I found when I searched your name was a Forbes profile, 3 Harvard Business Review articles, and documentation of extraordinary work with some of America's largest companies. What I witnessed at that party was your family treating you with contempt while being completely unaware of your professional accomplishments. The contrast was striking and deeply troubling. I made my investment decision based on character assessment. Your brother demonstrated a willingness to humiliate family for personal gain. That's not someone I can be in business with. You deserved better than what happened that night. I hope my reaction didn't make things worse for you. If you're ever in need of a professional reference or introduction, please don't hesitate to reach out. Best regards, Marcus Chen." I sat back. Read it again. He'd apologized. To me. For doing the thing that finally made someone see what I'd been experiencing for years. I typed a response. "Marcus, thank you for the email. You have nothing to apologize for. What happened at that party has been happening my entire life. You were just the first person outside the family to notice and to care. I appreciate your professionalism and your integrity. Best, Alex." Sent. Closed my laptop. And for the first time in 2 days, I smiled. Not because Tyler's company was collapsing, but because someone had finally seen me. Really seen me, and decided I was worth defending. The collapse happened fast. Week 1. Tyler missed payroll. I know because he texted me at 3 a.m. "Employees are quitting. 3 already. More threatening. Please." I didn't respond. Week 2. Other investors started pulling out. Turns out Marcus's network was extensive and tight. Word spread about the character clause, about what happened at the retirement party. Investors talk, especially about red flags. Tyler was now a red flag. Week 3, his co-founders resigned, took severance packages, jumped to other startups. Tyler's LinkedIn showed him searching for strategic advisors. Translation: desperate. Week 4, the company folded, assets liquidated, office lease terminated, website went dark. 5 months after Tyler had proudly introduced Marcus as his lead investor, his startup no longer existed. He posted on LinkedIn, professional, vague. Sometimes things don't work out. Grateful for the journey and the lessons learned. On to the next chapter. Comments were supportive. Lots of, "You've got this," and "Failure is just a stepping stone." Nobody knew the real story, except Marcus's network. They knew exactly what happened. Cousin Emily texted me. "Did you see Tyler's post?" "Yeah." Very diplomatic. Very fake. I heard the real story from my friend in VC. Word got around fast. Tyler's name is mud in those circles. Good. Cold, Alex. Accurate, Emily. She sent a laughing emoji. Then, "For what it's worth, I always knew you were doing well. I follow your work. That Walmart project was brilliant." Thanks. Why didn't you ever correct them? When they called you a failure, would they have believed me? No, probably not. Exactly. Day 31. After the party, Dad called. I'd unblocked him. Morbid curiosity about whether he'd reach out. "Alex, we need to talk." "Okay." "I've been thinking a lot about that night, about what we said, how we treated you." I stayed quiet. "We were wrong." "Okay." "That's it? Just okay? What else do you want me to say?" "I don't know. Forgiveness? Maybe eventually." "When?" "When I'm ready, not when you need it." He was quiet for a long moment. "Fair enough. Anything else?" "Tyler's struggling, lost his company, his reputation. He's applying for jobs but getting rejected. He thinks people know what happened." "They do. Marcus's network is small but influential. Word travels." "Did you tell people?" "No, but Marcus did. Not publicly. Just within investor circles. That's how it works." Dad's voice got harder. "So you're okay with Tyler being blacklisted?" "I'm not okay with anything. I'm just not stopping it." "You could help?" "No." "Why not?" "Because he destroyed me publicly, for his own benefit. He made a calculation. This is the result." "He's your brother." "He's the person who called me a failure in front of 150 people to impress an investor. Those aren't the same thing." Dad was quiet again. Then, "I'm sorry. For that night. For all the times before. We should have treated you better." "You should have." "Can you forgive me?" "I don't know yet." He accepted that. "Okay, I understand. Just let me know if that changes." "I will." We hung up. I felt nothing. No anger. No satisfaction. Just tired. Week 6, Madison texted. First time she'd reached out since the party. "Can we talk?" "About what?" "Everything." I called her. Might as well get it over with. "Alex, hi. I wanted to apologize." "Okay." That night it got out of hand. We were all joking around and it went too far." "You weren't joking." "We were." "Madison, I was standing right there. You called me the family cautionary tale." "That wasn't a joke. That was a description." She was quiet. "Were you uncomfortable?" I asked. "What?" "When Tyler started mocking me. When Mom laughed. When Dad pointed at me. Were you uncomfortable?" I. "It was awkward, but you joined in. You added to it. You made it worse." "I didn't mean." "You meant it. You've always meant it. You just didn't expect anyone to care." "That's not fair." "It's completely fair. You thought Marcus would laugh along. That everyone would. That mocking me was safe because I'm just Alex. The dropout. The disappointment. But someone finally called you out. And now you're sorry?" I am sorry. You're sorry there were consequences. That's different. Alex, please. Tyler lost his company. Dad's retirement party ended in disaster. Marcus put it in writing why he pulled funding. And Forbes is writing about it. Those are consequences, not apologies. I hung up. She didn't call back. Month 2, the Forbes article published. Didn't name me, professional journalism standards. But it told the story. A prominent tech investor recently withdrew $8 million in Series B funding after witnessing the founder publicly humiliate a family member at a private event. The investor cited a character clause in the contract, stating the founder's behavior revealed fundamental ethical incompatibility. Sources indicate the family member in question is an award-winning consultant whose work has been featured in multiple industry publications. The irony of the situation, a successful professional being mocked as a failure by someone who would soon lose everything, has not been lost on the investment community. The article went semi-viral in startup circles. LinkedIn exploded with hot takes. This is why character matters in business. Investors should look beyond pitch decks. How you treat people when there's no benefit is who you really are. Tyler's name wasn't mentioned, but anyone in his network could figure it out. Emily texted, "Saw the article. Brutal." "Yeah, Tyler must be dying." "Probably. Do you feel bad?" "No? Really? Really, he did this, not me." "Fair." Month 3, I got an email. From a company I'd never worked with. Major retailer. Fortune 100. Subject: Consulting inquiry, referred by Marcus Chen. Opened it. Mr. Last name. Marcus Chen suggested I reach out to you regarding a supply chain optimization project. We're looking to restructure our distribution network, and he spoke highly of your work with Walmart and Target. Would you be available for a call next week to discuss scope and timeline? Best regards, Jennifer Walsh, VP Operations. I stared at the email. Marcus was sending me clients. Not just defending me. Not just apologizing. Actually opening doors. I replied yes. Set up the call. The project was huge. 8-month timeline, 7-figure fee. One conversation with Marcus at a retirement party had done more for my career than 32 years of family had. Month 4, Emily sent a screenshot. Tyler's updated LinkedIn profile. New job, corporate. Middle management at a logistics company. Supply chain operations manager. Not VP, not founder, just manager. Decent salary, benefits, nothing flashy. The caption from Emily. He's been humbled. I zoomed in on his profile photo. He looked older. Tired. Good, I replied. Think you'll ever talk to him? Probably, eventually, when he's learned something. Think he has? Don't know. Don't care right now. That's fair. Month 5, I was at a coffee shop working. Someone approached my table. I looked up. Robert Chen, the client who'd emailed me after the party. Alex, thought that was you. I stood, shook his hand. Robert. Hi. Mind if I sit? Please. He sat down. Ordered coffee. I wanted to tell you something, he said. I've been recommending you to everyone I know. Your work on the Walmart project was transformative. But more than that, watching how you handled that situation at your dad's party, with dignity and silence, that impressed me more than any consulting work. I didn't do anything. Exactly. You didn't fight, didn't defend yourself, didn't make a scene. Just let your work speak for itself. And when someone finally looked, they found exactly what you'd built. Quietly. Without needing recognition. Thanks. Your family underestimated you. They did. Their loss. He finished his coffee, stood up. Keep doing what you're doing. The people who matter are paying attention. After he left, I sat there, laptop open, coffee cooling, and realized something. I'd spent years trying to prove myself to people who weren't looking. And when I finally stopped trying, the right people found me anyway. Tyler lost everything trying to impress one investor. I gained everything by just doing good work. The irony wasn't lost on me. But the satisfaction was real. 6 months after the retirement party, Tyler showed up at my apartment again. This time, I let him in. He looked different. Smaller somehow. Worn down by months of job rejections and professional isolation. We sat in my living room, coffee table between us. Silence. Finally, I lost everything. I know. The company, my reputation, my savings. Had to move back home for 2 months until I found the logistics job. I nodded. Didn't say anything. I deserved it. Yeah. I'm sorry. For that night. For every time before. Every joke. Every comment. Every time I made you feel small to make myself feel bigger. I watched him. Looking for the performance. The angle. Found something different. Genuine exhaustion. Actual remorse. Okay, I said. That's it? What do you want me to say? That you forgive me. I don't. He nodded slowly. Will you ever? I don't know. Maybe, but not today. Fair. We sat in more silence. Can I ask you something? He said. Sure. Did you know about the Forbes profile? About how successful you actually were? Of course I knew. I did the work. I gave the interviews. I just didn't tell you about it. Why not? Would you have believed me? He thought about that. Probably not. Exactly. So why bother? He stood up, moved toward the door, stopped. I'm proud of you. I should have said that years ago. You should have. I'm saying it now. I hear you. He left. I sat there for a long time after. Not feeling triumphant. Not feeling vindicated. Just tired. 2 years later. Industry conference, big one. Supply chain professionals from across the country. I was giving the keynote. Quiet innovation. How small changes create massive savings. The room was packed. 400 people. Standing room only. I talked about the Walmart project. The Target restructuring. The principles behind optimization that most companies miss. People took notes, asked questions, seemed genuinely interested. Afterward, backstage, someone approached. Tyler. I hadn't known he was there. He looked better than 6 months ago, healthier, more settled. That was really good, he said. Thanks. I didn't know you were speaking. Saw the conference program. Had to come. How's the job? Good. Got promoted. Senior manager now, not VP, but it's honest work. That's good. Awkward pause. I've been reading your articles, he said. Harvard Business Review. The MIT Sloan Management one. You're really respected in this field. I know. You really are in Forbes. I know that too. He smiled. Sad. I never looked. That's the thing. I never even looked. No, you didn't. Would have changed things, if I'd known. Maybe. But you should have treated me well regardless. You're right. Another pause. I'm working with a therapist, he said. Trying to understand why I did what I did. She says I was threatened by anything I couldn't categorize as success. You didn't fit my definition, so I dismissed you. That tracks. Yeah. Someone called my name, another speaker wanting to talk. I should go, I said. Yeah, of course, just wanted to say I saw the speech, and I'm proud of you. Okay. I walked away. Behind me, I heard him leave. Didn't turn around. Later that evening, hotel bar. I was having a drink alone, decompressing from the day. Someone sat down next to me. Marcus. Alex, good speech today. Marcus, I didn't know you were here. Advisory board. I sit in on some sessions. Yours was the best. Thanks. We ordered drinks, talked about the industry, trends, changes. Then, how's your brother? Saw him today. First time in a while. He's different. Working. Growing. Maybe. That's good. Is it? Marcus thought about that. Yes. Not for him. For you. Means you don't have to carry anger anymore. I'm not angry. No, you're not. That's what I mean. We drank in comfortable silence. I never thanked you properly, I said. For that night. For seeing what was happening and actually doing something. You don't owe me thanks? I made a business decision based on character assessment. Still, you didn't have to put it in writing, didn't have to tell your network, but you did. Your brother needed to learn that actions have consequences. I'm just glad you landed on your feet. Better than that, I'm doing the best work of my career, thanks in part to your referrals. He smiled. You earned those. I just opened doors. You walked through them. Someone approached Marcus, another conference attendee. He excused himself, left me alone with my drink and my thoughts. That night, in my hotel room, I thought about Tyler's face in the audience, watching me speak, seeing me respected, recognized, valued. Everything he'd claimed I wasn't. I could have felt satisfaction, revenge, victory. Instead, I just felt complete. Like I'd finally proven something to myself that I'd needed to prove. Not to them. To me. That I was enough. That my path was valid. That quiet success counts just as much as loud success. Maybe more. My phone buzzed. Text from Tyler. Proud of you. I mean it this time. I stared at it. Didn't reply immediately. Didn't delete it either. Just let it sit there. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But maybe, eventually, something like it. The next morning I had breakfast with Robert Chen. He'd attended the conference too. Wanted to discuss another project. You've come a long way since your dad's retirement party, he said. Have I? Or did people just finally start looking? Both, probably. We talked business, new contracts, potential partnerships. At the end, can I ask you something personal? Sure. Do you regret it? The way things went down with your family? I thought about that. No, I regret that it was necessary, but not that it happened. Because? Because I spent 32 years trying to prove myself to people who weren't interested in seeing me. And one night, someone finally looked, really looked, and saw what was there. Marcus? Yeah. Marcus looked because my brother gave him a reason to. Tried to use me to make himself look better. Backfired completely. Karma. Consequence. Karma implies cosmic justice. This was just actions meeting reality. Robert smiled. That's a very consultant answer. It's what I do. 6 months after the conference, I got an email from Dad. Subject: checking in. Haven't heard from you in a while. Your mother and I saw your name in the business section. Another award? We're proud of you. If you're ever in town, we'd like to see you. Dad? I read it twice. Replied simply, thanks. I'll let you know. Didn't plan to visit, but didn't close the door either. Some bridges don't need to be rebuilt. They just need to be acknowledged as burned. And that's okay. Present day. 3 years after the retirement party. Tyler and I text occasionally. Surface level. Professional. Sometimes he asks advice about logistics problems. I answer. We're not close. Probably never will be. But we're not enemies. Just two people who share DNA and a history of one person finally learning what the other was worth. Mom and Dad send cards on holidays. I send thank you notes. Madison and I don't talk. Her choice, mostly. Maybe mine too. Emily and I get lunch when I'm in town. She's the only one who knew all along. The only one who asked. Marcus and I email every few months. Professional updates, the occasional referral, mutual respect. My business is thriving. 3 Fortune 100 clients. 2 book deals in negotiation. Speaking at conferences globally. Everything Tyler said I'd never be. Not because I proved him wrong, but because I stopped trying to. Last week, I got a package. From Tyler. Inside, a copy of Forbes. The original profile from 2022, with a note. I finally read it, all of it. You were always successful. I just wasn't looking. Sorry it took me this long to see. I put the magazine on my shelf, next to my awards, my certifications, my published articles, not as a trophy, as a reminder that the people who matter will find you when you stop performing for the people who don't. And sometimes the biggest success isn't proving others wrong. It's realizing you never needed their approval in the first place. My brother called me a failure to impress an investor. That investor Googled me. My brother lost everything. I gained everything. Not because of revenge, but because I was already successful. Someone just finally looked, and that made all the difference.